The Castle on Cliff. In a small village surrounded by rolling hills and green meadows, Roger, a 20-year-old boy, was known for his cheerful demeanor and his homegrown fruits and vegetables. Every morning, he would arrange his fresh produce in neat piles on a wooden table in his front yard, greeting villagers with a warm smile as they stopped by to shop. Life was simple yet fulfilling for Roger, until one day, an unexpected event changed everything. As the sun bathed the village in golden light, Roger heard a commotion outside. A magnificent white horse, its coat gleaming like pearl, galloped through the narrow street. The horse had no saddle or reins, and it moved with a grace that mesmerized Roger. Without thinking, he dropped the basket of apples he was holding and ran after the horse. "Whoa! Stop!" Roger called out, but the horse didn't slow down. Instead, it paused momentarily in front of Roger, as if inviting him to come closer. Heart pounding with excitement, Roger approached cautiously and reached out to touch the horse's silky mane. To his surprise, the horse knelt slightly, making it easy for him to climb onto its back. As soon as Roger settled in, the horse took off at a swift pace, galloping past the village outskirts and into the dense forest. Roger held on tightly, the wind whipping through his hair as the horse navigated the unfamiliar terrain with uncanny precision. The forest path twisted and turned, leading them to a steep hill that ended in a towering cliff. Perched atop the cliff was a castle shrouded in mist. Its tall spires pierced the clouds, and its stone walls were covered in ivy. The horse came to a halt at the castle's grand gate, then let out a powerful neigh that echoed through the canyon below. Roger slid off the horse, his curiosity outweighing his fear. The gate creaked open as if by magic, revealing a grand courtyard. Roger hesitated, but the horse nudged him forward with its muzzle. Taking a deep breath, he stepped inside. The air was thick with the scent of roses and old stone, and the only sound was the gentle rustling of leaves in the breeze. In the center of the courtyard stood a large oak door adorned with intricate carvings of stars and moons. A faint glow emanated from its edges. Roger's gaze was drawn to a golden key lying on a pedestal nearby. As if compelled by an unseen force, he picked up the key and inserted it into the door's lock. The door opened with a soft click, revealing a spiral staircase that seemed to descend endlessly into darkness. Summoning his courage, Roger began his descent. The stairs led him to a grand hall illuminated by flickering torches. At the far end of the hall, he saw a young woman sitting on a gilded chair. Her hair cascaded in golden waves, and her pale blue gown shimmered like moonlight. She looked up as Roger approached, her eyes filled with a mix of hope and disbelief. "Who are you?" she asked, her voice trembling. "I'm Roger," he replied. "I found this castle by chance. Who are you, and why are you here?" "I'm Princess Alara," she said. "2 years ago, a sorcerer cursed me and locked me in this castle. No one has been able to find me or break the spell." Roger felt a surge of determination. "How can I help you?" Alara pointed to a large mirror on the wall. "The sorcerer's magic is tied to that mirror. If you can shatter it, the curse will be broken, and I'll be free." Roger approached the mirror, which reflected not his image but a swirling vortex of dark clouds. As he reached out to touch it, the room shook violently. Shadows emerged from the walls, forming into menacing shapes that lunged at Roger. Grabbing a torch from the wall, Roger swung it at the shadows, which recoiled from the light. With his free hand, he picked up a heavy candlestick and hurled it at the mirror. The glass cracked but didn't break. The shadows grew more aggressive, forcing Roger to fight them off as he searched for another weapon. His eyes fell on a sword mounted above the throne. He sprinted toward it, dodging the shadows, and pulled it from its sheath. The blade gleamed with an otherworldly light, as if it had been waiting for this moment. With a powerful swing, Roger struck the mirror. It shattered into countless shards, and a blinding light filled the room. When the light subsided, the shadows were gone, and Princess Alara stood before him, her face radiant with gratitude. "You did it," she said, tears streaming down her cheeks. "The curse is broken." "Thank you, Roger." Before Roger could respond, the white horse appeared in the hall, its presence as mysterious as ever. Alara smiled. The horse will take us back to my kingdom. My parents will be overjoyed to see me again. Roger and Alara climbed onto the horse, which carried them down the cliff and through the forest at an incredible speed. When they emerged from the woods, they found themselves at the gates of a grand palace. Guards and servants gasped in astonishment as they saw Princess Alara dismounting the horse. The king and queen rushed out, their faces a mixture of shock and joy. "Alara!" the queen cried, embracing her daughter. "We thought we'd lost you forever." Alara recounted her ordeal and Roger's bravery, and the king declared a grand celebration in Roger's honor. Banners were raised, and the entire kingdom gathered to rejoice. Roger, though overwhelmed by the attention, couldn't help but feel a deep sense of fulfillment. As the festivities continued late into the night, Alara approached Roger. "You've given me my life back," she said. "How can I ever repay you?" Roger smiled. "Seeing you reunited with your family is reward enough." The next morning, Roger prepared to return to his village. The king and queen offered him gold and jewels, but Roger declined. "I have everything I need back home," he said. Alara handed him a small, intricately carved wooden box. "Take this," she said. "It's a token of my gratitude." When Roger returned to his village, he opened the box to find a small crystal that glowed softly. He placed it on his table, and from that day on, his produce seemed to grow brighter and sweeter, drawing more villagers to his yard. Though he never saw the white horse or the castle again, Roger often thought of Princess Alara and the incredible adventure that had changed his life forever.